Hello, welcome to another Cube Draft. Um, the card that immediately jumps out to me is Fedalken Shackles. Shackles for a lot of decks is pretty hard to beat. I like being blue, so there's nothing against that. Like if it was a green card, I might not want it. Um, Chasm Skulker, we played with it last cube. It's a pretty fun card. It might wheel, Glenlander might wheel. Seems unlikely though. There tend to be like 2 to 3 blue players at least. What else do I want to see wheel? Condemn would be nice. Gideon Juro would be fine. So Condemn, Gideon Juro, Chasm Skulker, Glenalendra, Lodestone Golem, Chandra, Regrowth. Something like those. Maybe this one as well. There are 3 white cards in that, so blue-white is definitely a possibility. Like it's not open, it's a possibility. We get Stoneforge Mystic Past. I think we want it. It's early enough, like Celestial Colonnade might wheel. It's early enough to pick this up that we might get a... Wow, Gutter Snipe is in these? Really? It's early enough that we might get an equipment with it. It obviously doesn't get Fedalken Shackles, like if this just got you an artifact and allows you to put it into play. How broken would that be? It's broken enough as it is. There's Talia, but it's not really the card I want. I think Sense's Divining Top fits this deck a bit more. There's Keranos, I really like Keranos, but going 3 colors isn't that viable. So Cortusar, Talia, Keranos, Sphere of the Suns are all cards I wouldn't mind seeing wheel, but not gonna pass up a Sense's Divining Top here. We might not play the Shackles, we might not play the Stoneforge Mystic. We have no clue where we're going with this deck. We're just picking up good cards that we want to see or want to play with. We have a slow guy again, which is this guy, Aratog. So he named himself after a card, huh? Burger Blob, Smokier, Matthias. Okay. Grossi, that's me, Spowels. Oh no, it's not, and Clerkson. Like, why do you name yourself something like, oh no, it's not? What are you thinking when you do that? Catastrophe is pretty interesting. It's not a bad card. It's not a bad card at all, but there's also Stonecloaker. There's Watery Grave. I think Catastrophe is a bit better, just because it's AoE. It's mass removal. But I'm not sure if I want it. I'm more for incremental advantage in these kind of decks. Like Fedalken Shackles is gonna take over the game anyway. But is Stonecloaker good enough? That's basically the question. Do we want to be creature based? I think we want like white flyers then. And how many of those are we gonna get? Like maybe these wheels. So let's go pick up the Stonecloaker and go some creatures. There's land tax, but there's also Martial Coup, which is obviously a bit better. It's a late game bomb, basically. That's about it. There's Ultimate Prize, but we didn't pick up the Watery Grave, so can't really do that. At this point we're still white. We haven't seen a single blue card, so someone to our right is blue. But we don't need a lot of blue cards. I think Thirst for Knowledge is definitely a solid card here that we want. It's a blue card. We already have 2 artifacts. We might pick up a 3rd one or a 4th one. In which case Thirst just becomes better. We got more blue from our left, who's already deprived of it. So we might get a lot of decent blue cards in the second pack. So there's plenty of reason to pick up Thirst there. I didn't really pay attention to a lot of the other cards because they just weren't that interesting. That's the main reason. Like there was the Arcane Sanctum, but although it fixes, it isn't. Like we're probably not gonna splash black because we want as many islands as we can with Fedalken Shackles. And it's a fix that doesn't actually give us... Oh man, there's Nicol Bolas again. We could go for it 3 times. Put target non-land permanent onto its own. It's just beneath the top X cards of that library. Interesting card. So it's basically 2 mana, remove something for a turn, or late game put it very deep. So it's early enough to take away tempo from your opponent, and late game it's good enough. Yeah, I think it's good enough. Basically because it's an instant. If it was Cersei, it would be terrible. But the fact that this is an instant, you can early, like against Negra deck, you can take away their tempo, right? Withered Wayfarer versus 8.5 Tails. Withered Wayfarer is pretty strong. 8.5 Tails is pretty strong. I'm gonna go with 8.5 Tails. No, it seems a bit weird seeing that I have Fidok Shackles and then Withered Wayfarer runs really well with it, but 8.5 Tails is an issue for a lot of decks. So the Condemned did wheel. I think we're slamming that over the Descendant. It's more of a control card. Of course, Descendant is pretty good. So far, no equipment, but we are semi-creatures. We only have 3 at this point, but if we picked up the Descendant, we would win more creatures. Like, Descendant is actually a bit better if it would have been a bit better if it is like a 2/3 that has lifelink and just grows, but it only gains the lifelink, and I don't think it's even lifelink, it's just a trigger that has similar effect. So it's not the same at all. Don't really care for any of these cards. Like Necropotus is pretty strong against me, but Tarmogoyf, I guess, it's a pretty cool card. I can't believe they ever printed this card. Like, as soon as it got printed, I was like, okay, this card has to be pretty good. And I bought 4 of them. I picked up a full one for €5 pretty early on. Just because I knew how good it was. Like, if you play Legacy, you realized how good this was because there's yeah, let's pick up Steplings. Because there are cards like Werebear were played, and if you think about Legacy, you immediately realize that the card is just good, right? It's always going to be a 3, 4, 4, 5, or 2, so it's just better than Werebear. While the extra mana for Werebear was useful, it just wasn't that needed. I'm gonna pick up the Grasslands over the Delver. We have a bunch of whites with some creatures. Didn't see a lot of blue, and we might jump into green white instead. I think Nezumi Shortfang is a better card. Just gonna hate it there. Yeah, sure. Esper Charm. Really? Grasslands, we might even play it just as a plains for the Senses of Anitap. So no equipment here, which was the first thing I looked for. There's either Adept, Momentary Blink, Apocalypse, Serendip, Efreet, Wrath of God. I think Efreet has to be the pick, but then I'm committing to blue. But I think I want to, because what of the other cards am I gonna play, right? I can jump into black with Nezumi Shortfang and Phyrexia Score and pick up the Shriekba, but then I want a Momentary Blink and I want to be blue anyway. Momentary Blink might even wheel, and it's good enough in my deck. If I go blue, like, it's not that great of a card, but it's a solid card in general. Grasslands works with Steplings, it works with Senses of Anitap, so I think I'm even gonna play it as a plane, just as a shovel effect. The problem, of course, is that it comes into play tab, blah blah blah. They're not the best kind of fetches. I remember when I was still how Control Magic is in here, huh? So there's Control Magic, Jace, Vector Fiction, Baneslayer, Daxos, and Windswept Heat. But I can't put up Control Magic. I remember when it was pretty new, well, not real new, I guess worse at the game. So there's Hand of Honor, Dismember. I think Dismember, just as a standard removal, is the better card here. Wouldn't mind seeing Force of Will, Misty Rainforest, Hand of Honor. So it's pretty new to the game. I heard about how good fetches were. I just didn't have any. I had like 2 or something. My collection wasn't that huge back then. And someone had these cards, and I'm like, hey, these are similar to the fetches people talk about. Like, why aren't these good? And the guy was trading them way pretty cheap, so I think I traded the most all that he had. four of like 2 solid cards of mine. Too bad they're trash. So there's a Geist. Not gonna pass that one up. Like, it definitely fits my colors. Semi-creatures. If I can pick up an equipment, Geist is really good. If I can protect Geist with something like Momentary Blink, it's pretty good. We'll see. 8.5 Tails obviously protects us as well. I think it's a good enough card to have here. Dismember is just a 1 mana 4. Into the Roll, Mentor of the Meek, Miscalculation. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3. It's 2, right? 4. So currently we have 4 cards that work with this, which isn't enough, I think. Is it better than Into the Roll though? Or Miscalculation for that matter? I don't think it is. I think Into the Roll is a better card than Mentor of the Meek. In the deck I have here. Like, I only have 4 cards that work with Mentor of the Meek. I don't actually want to run that many cards that work with it. Like, I want some more late game cards at this point. Like Consecrated Sphinx or something. And just picking up a bunch of cheap creatures isn't what I'm looking to do. So I decided to against it. So there's Journey to Nowhere, Seagate Oracle. We have 2 removal already, but I think Journey is still better than Seagate Oracle. I do like Seagate Oracle, but I think Journey is just a better card. There's Tidings, Garruk, Apex Predator. Destroy another target Planeswalker, nice. 3/3, destroy target creature, you gain life. Target opponent, whenever a creature attacks you, it gets... Wow, pretty sick. But I think it has to be Tidings here, just to refill my hand. I was just reading a card I didn't know. Momentary Blink Wield. Momentary Blink with Adept is actually the combination you would want. But I think I want Momentary Blink to protect some creatures. Like, Interrupted Momentary Blink is good. There's also a Poker Site with which Momentary Blink works as well. But Momentary Blink is just a good card to protect creatures from removal. It's only on creatures you control. So you probably want cards like Venser, Manowar, stuff like that. So Dexus is there and Jace is there. I think I want Dexus. Like, if I can get an equipment on it, it's pretty good again. So now all I want in my last pack is an equipment. A sword is fine. Skull Clamp is and a Skull Clamp won't be in the non-powered version, right? Like, it's probably a bit too powerful to be in the cube. How many equipments are there actually in the cube? There's usually Better Skull in the swords. I'm not even sure if all 5 swords are in here, as I haven't seen Solas for a while. It has to be in here, right? Like, Sword of Light and Shadow is good, Sword of Fire and Ice is good. Sword of Feast and Famine is decent. What can we pick here? I think the hardest card against us is Creeping Tar Pit. I know it sounds weird. Fire Rise just for the ice part. Spell Pierce just because it's a decent card and we might even play it. Probably won't play the Fire Rise, but I mean the ice effect is part of something, right? Like, it's possible that I'll play it. And Mentor of the Meek actually even wheeled. I now have 1 extra card to work with it. But we might just cut Stoneforge Mystic, so it might not be worth it. Like, it's a decent card, it's just not that great. It's just a 2/2 that doesn't do anything on his own. Like, Synergy is fine to have in a deck, but Cube has so many single powerful cards that it's usually better just to run single powerful cards. And if you run like a synergistic deck, you usually want enough removal. There's also Luthor Core, but I don't think I can pass up Oblivion Ring here. There's Juicy Apprentice, Luthor Core, Dismiss, Floodplains, which I wouldn't mind seeing wheel. But that's about it. Like, maybe the Sylvan Library and splash it, but seems very unlikely, seeing that I don't really want to splash. Not so sure if I want to run the grasslands now, because we're pretty early on the curve. And we get a Consecrated Sphinx we asked for. So there's still no equipment. Rifting Classgate is pretty good with Momentary Blink, but I don't think I can pass up a Consecrated Sphinx, especially when we asked for it. Like, this card is a late game bomb. It's a 4/6 flyer, which is solid on its own. And then, if it ever survives a single turn, it just wins you the game. Shapeshifter is pretty strong. And it's also one of the only cards that are pretty good for us. Like Spear of Healing, maybe, but we're not that creature heavy. This on guys doesn't work, but it works on Texas. No, it works on Serendip Efreet. It works on Stonecloaker. It works on 8.5. No. Hero Blade Hold. Yeah, this isn't legendary. So Hero Blade Hold and Consecrated Sphinx. Got it. Or you just copy your opponent's best creature, which is usually what you want to use it for. It's a pretty solid card. Like I like Vesuvian Shapeshifter. It has a lot of effects that you can use it for. Like it basically takes the best card on the board and becomes it. And when another card becomes the better card, it becomes it. That's why this is a good card. It has you can keep using the effect, which makes a huge difference. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay. If you do, put a person with flying. Sacrifice a spirit, target non-spirit creature gains. That's an interesting card. We only run 11, probably 10 creatures, so it's not enough. There's only a Chroma as the other card though, so I'm gonna pick it up. Probably not gonna play with it. Probably not gonna play with a Stoneforge Mystic because I haven't found a creature yet. There's way too many here. This is a 1-drop. Probably not play this, but I'm not sure yet. Let's put some creatures at the bottom for now. We have a bunch of creatures at 3 and 2. 8.5 tails. Oh, never mind. We only have 1 and 2 now. So Day of Judgment. So far, no red effect has wheeled. Plus, it's the only card I'm actually ever gonna play. We drafted this, and I uploaded this on Thursday. And we actually never got to play with it. But I can't play it now. Like I'm not even green, so too bad. Day of Judgment plays a bit against my own deck, but I think I want to pick it up here anyway. Dismantling Blow is a fine card, but I can't pass up card draw. Can I? Like this is a good sideboard card against equipment. I don't really have an answer against it so far. This is a good card though. It's not better than Tiding, so Hallowed Fountain, Far Away, TV Magpie. Hallowed Fountain is an island, so I'm gonna pick it up here. We can even get it with the grasslands, so now we're more inclined to play grasslands, especially with the Stepling still being there. So we have to cut 3 cards so far. Coral Helm Commander, another card I wanna play. So what do we cut? Like probably this thing and this thing and this thing. And let's think about it. So Stonecloaker is just protection for creatures because we have no reusability on them. We have some, like Steplings is probably the weakest creature we have. All the rest are pretty good on their own. Outside of Mentor of the Meek, so Mentor of the Meek is also some might keep in this over Mentor of the Meek, but although we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 so far, 7 if you take this, but I don't think I'm gonna take this over Dismiss or Floodplain. Do I want a Floodplain? I'm only 2 colors, I don't really need a fix. I actually think I have no counter outside of Spell Pierce, so I think having a random counter is a bit better, and it's better than Spell Pierce, so look at the Spell Pierce. Ajani is pretty solid, not sure if I'll play it, but it's a pretty solid card. Let's just keep it in the main deck for now. and look at it during deconstruction. So we're 2 cards too many. This isn't that great when you don't have any creatures, but as soon as you have creatures, it becomes good. And against burn and stuff, like, this card is pretty solid. So no equipment, huh? We didn't even see one. So Soldier Wield, we're just gonna pick it up. We're probably not gonna play it. Protection from multicolored is decent, but just not the winning card. I guess I'll pick up Lightning. I think Lightning is a strong card. Just letting your opponent discard 2 is solid. I'm not sure how many I'm gonna record today. Like, this is the second one. It's currently 3 AM in the afternoon. So after this one I'm gonna start cooking. Let's pick up this card. Like, I'm pretty interested in it, but I can't play it. So I'm gonna start cooking. That's gonna take about like half an hour, and then after that we don't have time for one more, I think. No, we're not gonna. So this is gonna be less. Well, it depends on how much it takes. If it takes like 2 hours, we're obviously we will have the time then, but it's never gonna take 2 hours, will it? So we might want Spell Pierce, we might want this, we might want Day of Judgment, we might want Soldier, we might want Fire and Ice, but those are it. We do have a bunch of black as well, so we might sideboard that in if you ever want to, but I doubt it. Can I put this at the side? No, you cannot, really. Sword, bicolor. Ah, man, it doesn't really help me, does it? So let's do it like this then. So Day of Judgment is out. Spell Pierce is out. Fire Eyes is out. Dismember is a 1-drop. Mentor of the Meek, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 if you run it like this. It's doubtful, so Mentor of the Meek is doubtful. Consecrated Sphinx I want, Tidings I want, Vesuvian Shapeshifter I want, Dismiss and Control Magic I want, Hero I want, Ajani, doubtful. Thirst, we only have 2 cards. Since it's Divine Top and Shackles aren't really cards I want to discard, so I think it's out. Because it's never gonna generate card advantage. Into Draw is gonna be a 4-drop. Martial Coup is gonna be a late game bomb. How good is Momentary Blink here? It protects like Geist. It's good way to protect this card. I think I want to keep it in just to have some kind of tricks. So currently we have 4 cards less, which is 24. No, that's 26. 26, so we need to cut 3 more. I think Soldier of the Pantheon is gone. Oh, it cons these still, right? Yeah, it still cons these, so this is 8. This is 7. So if we cut 7, we have 25, so that's enough. So this should do if I want to run it like this. Let's put creatures here. Hero of Blade Hold. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 creatures. I don't actually think I want Steplings. I think I'd rather have something as a like a Spell Pierce or something. Just as a random card to try to win. My microphone's working. Okay, I could just accidentally hit it with my foot. Mentor of the Meek, if we got Stepling Senso on, isn't that great? Yeah, I think Spell Pierce is the better card then. Like this. We can bring in a bunch of these, like Johnny Goldman can come in against aggro and burn. Thirst for Knowledge can come in against control. This can come in against some aggro decks. This can come in against aggro decks. This comes in against aggro decks. This might come in against aggro decks, but very unlikely. Is there anything else in the sideboard? Dismantling Blow can come in. Spirit Bonds against a removal heavy deck, but that seems unlikely as well. Can I not select all of these? I can, but then it takes my Martial Coup. So these are 23 cards. If we sort by color, it's about even. I'm surprised by that. We did manage to pick up a lot of blue then eventually. We run 9 creatures, and most of them are pretty strong. So if you had basic land, and it just says 7/7/1. But I think I want to run an extra island just because I have the grasslands, and this is fine. I'll see you guys for round 1.